Thanks for making it out to our meetup tonight. It's DemoPalooza, so we're going to see a lot of great demos. Before we start, I just want to remind everybody that we are now live. So if you're sitting in the back and you're having a conversation, it will be picked up on the live cast. So please just maybe go to the kitchen if you need that extra time. But we do have networking afterwards, so it's plenty of time for everybody to share stories and network as well. So my name is Karina Hami. I'm part of the Azure government engineering team based in Washington, D.C., and a founder of this user community. Very excited to have you. And Vishwas, if you want to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Karina. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I was looking at the numbers of the people who have joined the meetup. We're not quite at 2,000, but very close to 2,000.
Very close. So, I watch it every day. So thank you. So what we like to do is really start out to why we're here. When Vishwas and I started talking about this, we were just launching Azure Government into this market, and we wanted a place where people could come together and share best practices, share stories, and be able to network. So we're excited that you're here, and if we're always open to volunteers. If you're working on something really neat on Azure and want to share it with a group, we're always looking for those folks and those stories. So if you're on social media, we're #AzureGovMeetup. If you miss a meetup, it's also on YouTube. So when we live cast this, all our meetups afterwards are on YouTube, and you can find it. So we've had a little venue change. We were at Crystal City the last two meetups. We are now back at this location. So thanks for finding us. I hope there's no one in Crystal City tonight. Our next, this meetup tonight is September. The next one is October 24th. We're going to be featuring women in cybersecurity. So we have a great list of panelists shaping up already. And we're working on our November meetup around data analytics. So again, that call of volunteers. If you know a great woman working in cybersecurity, please let us know. If you're doing great work in data and analytics and want to share your story, please let us know. So with that, we just wanted to cover a couple of events and announcements. We just released what we call the Azure Starter Packs. They're available on Schedule 70. And really what we did is we packaged up what we thought were common cloud workloads that when you're getting started in your cloud journey, most people do. So if you're just curious on what those workloads are or want to actually use them, just check that out. And we'll share the link on the Meetup platform. And then Vishwas, if you want to talk about Ignite.
So yeah, let me quickly talk about Ignite. As we know, Ignite is going on, and usually we have even more people attend, and I assume that some of the attendees from our past meetups are at Ignite. I want to point you to a very interesting resource that Microsoft put out. This link here called news.microsoft.com. This is a very small 27-page document that talks about all of the announcements that were at Ignite. And fortunately, they gave me an hour and 15 minutes to read through every single announcement. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to call out. You go download that PDF and look at the new announcements. A couple of the ones that relate to this Azure Gov setting are that MySQL and PostgreSQL are both available now. GA now on Azure Government, so I wanted to point that out. But please go take a look at this document. Gives you a lot of information about all put together in one place, which I think is a great idea. Yeah. And then very quickly call out the Data Fest that's happening, and we conducted an AI Fest in September. I think it was September 7th. And that was completely sold out. We had a great audience. It was a day long, and that was decided that we would follow it up with one on advanced analytics and big data. So if you are in the area, you can around Reston on 11th, 12th, please come join that.
There's no cost to that, is there?
There is no cost to
Okay.
that. There is no cost to that, and there are labs and there are sessions, so please come join that if you can. In the Reston Microsoft office. 11th, sorry. 11th and 12th October, yeah.
So, so we release probably every 30 hours a new service or feature. So there's always, so it's not a surprise that we have 27 pages of new releases to go through. And that's one reason we're here, just to talk about all the new things and kind of the pace of what's changing in cloud and how we can use those new tools to create capabilities. So with that, Vishwas, maybe we can go over the agenda.
Yeah, I'm going to, as soon as we finish here, just in the next couple of minutes, we will start with my favorite model for this meetup, which is the DemoPalooza. And I suggest hang on to your, put on your seat belts, because you're going to see 4 presentations, rapid fire presentation, 15 minutes each, and all interesting topics, all relevant topics. So we'll start out with, Kevin talking about Snowflake computing, very interesting in that space, doing really well. So you want to go listen to them. Then comes Joel, who's going to talk about the Azure DevOps, the recent announcement and the capabilities that were announced related to that. Then we have Sanjay from GDIT. He is going to talk about modernizing .NET applications using containers and orchestrators and things like that. And then finally, last but not the least, is John Nemoto from CGI talking about managing and migrating hybrid applications. So a view of managing the hybrid infrastructure in single place. So all 4 interesting presentations. It makes me really happy to see this agenda here. As Karina said, we started the meetup not just to present new services. You saw that we barely talked about the new services. What is really interesting is to see you all come and present about the things that you have built using this platform, and that's what we're going to do here next.
So with that, we just want to thank you, do a big thanks to the speakers to volunteer their time and effort to share their stories with us tonight. So a big thank you in advance. And then with that, we'll start with Kevin.
Okay, now I'll just make a quick announcement. Since we have 15 minutes each for them, so by all means, let them go through the content. We will take just a few questions so that we are not delaying the subsequent later presenters. But there'll be some time after the sessions are done where you can ask more detailed questions. So keep that in mind, please. Thank you.
Thank you.